Okay, hi. I am out and about, but I wanted to stop and do this book review before I forget about it because this was such a good book. This is Better Not Cry by Willow Rose. Oops, there it is. Better Not Cry. Actually, let's see if I can get non-glare. And this was book number 8, I think it is, in the Rebecca Frank series that she does. And I had gotten up to book 7. I've been waiting for book 8 to come out free on Amazon for Kindle because basically I only do the free books. I can't afford to buy books right now. So I have to wait for the free books to come out. And so I've been waiting for probably a year. One thing I will tell you is there is another book. It's a short story. It's not a Rebecca Frank. It's just a short story she did called You Better Watch Out. Better Watch Out, Better Not Cry. Get it? It's sort of a prequel to this story. It helps if you read that story first, but you don't necessarily have to. It just kind of gives some background about what's going on in this story. And when they talk about this doctor who died, that's kind of where it's from. It tells his that in the other story. Also, this is book number 8. Like I said, it does help to read these in order. I always like to read in order, even if the books aren't connected. I don't know why. I'm just obsessive that way. But while these are individual stories, there are connections. You can see the characters grow and things that happen. Like in this one, Suni is in a wheelchair at the beginning because he was shot at the end of the last book. So, and even because it had been a year since I read the last book, I had to go back and go to the end of the last book and say, how was he shot? I don't remember him getting shot. And it's like, I had to go back to the end of the last book and flip through until I found where he was shot and just like reread a page or two to remember, jog my memory. So, but she is such an excellent writer when she does this, and she does a couple of other genres. She does sort of I think it's like a YA fantasy dystopia something. I don't know exactly because I haven't read them, but she does the Rebecca Frank and the Emma Frost. And Rebecca Frank is a reporter in a small town in Denmark, and she gets involved in these sort of Stephen King-like mysteries that, when it comes down to it, it's somebody who's just out there killing, but the murders are so bizarre. And her first book in this series, I think, was in fact, I know it was the first book I read by her. 1, 2, He's Coming for You. And so they go on 1, 2, He's Coming for You, 3, 4, Better Shut the Door, 5, 6. Oh gosh, I can't remember. 5, 6, 7, 8, Better Stay Up Late, 9, 10. But they were all numbered up until this one. 11, 12, Dig and Delve. 13, 14, Better Left Unseen. Amazing I can remember any of these. This is the first non-numbered book. And, it's... The series is just fantastic. And then the Emma Frost series as well gets into some really just bizarre stuff. let's see, I'm trying to go back. The first one, 1, 2, He's Coming for You, was about a man who he was going back and killing kids he went to school with and just doing it in these bizarre ways. And when you look at the ways people are dying, like this one is Santa Claus, and this is not a spoiler because this happens in the very first of the book. This is what sets it up. Santa Claus lures a little boy up inside of a chimney and then lights a fire. So they find him, the mother realizes that she can smell burning flesh and starts screaming, and so I think I'm going to get caught by a security guard. Oh, no, he's going by. Okay. So she starts screaming, and Rebecca Frank is jogging by, so she stops to see what's going on and help the mother. And so she gets drawn into it that way. Usually she gets drawn into it because she's a reporter, and she goes to report on the story and then starts digging into it. But, this one, she just happens to be jogging by and gets drawn into this. But so this Santa Claus, and there's this side thing that once you start believing in Santa Claus, you can see who he really is. And that's kind of one of these things that I have been trying to figure out this year. There was this whole thing about the song Baby It's Cold Outside being blacklisted because of the the whole sex thing, the pushing a woman to come in and have sex, and her saying no, and he kept pushing her, and that's the whole thing of the song. Well, any modern Christmas song has something freaky about it. Santa Claus is coming to town. You better watch out. You better not cry. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. Come on. That's stalkerish. And that's, and I had been thinking about that for like a week. And then she writes that in her book, that Santa is like a stalker. And so I won't go into the whole rant about the holiday songs, especially now that the holidays are over. But she picks up on that and says, that Santa Claus is a stalker. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. It's like, what is this? And so, but her writing is very, very good. She's not jerky about it, if that makes sense. A lot of these free books that I pick up, there are a lot of misspellings, a lot of grammar misusage. I can't tell you how many times, and I'm one of those people that's so obsessive about grammar. If I see something wrong, it completely stops me and takes me out of the story because I have to figure out what's wrong. Why isn't this working? And she doesn't do any, she's a professional writer, to put it any other way. I mean, I think there are a lot of people here who, on Kindle, they self-publish, they call themselves professional writers, but they're really not. And, it's not to drag anybody down, but if you're going to publish a book anywhere, even if it's self-publishing on Amazon, do your due diligence and check that thing over 5 times, 10 times before you publish it. Don't just do, okay, my video went off. That was weird. She connects the dots. She layers everything together. You see where things go. By the time you get to the end of the story, you've had the story. It doesn't just, how do I say, you do the ups and downs in the story like you would any story. There are parts that it's like nail biting and other parts where you're going, yeah. And, oh, when they were on the ride at Disneyland, oh my God, the Peter Pan ride, oh crap. It kind of makes you look at Disneyland in a whole new way, or Disney World. Sorry, I was raised at Disneyland, but they're in Florida for this one. So typically the stories are set in Denmark. They came to Florida for this one. I think that's because she lives in Florida now, so she's starting to bring the characters to Florida. She has another character set that is based in Florida, and those are good books as well. And it's the 7th Street Crew series, and then there's the Jack Ryder series that's based in Florida. And these are all just really good books. I can highly recommend any Willow Rose book. And so You Better Not Cry is, if you're looking for a Christmas book that is not a sappy romance or a cozy mystery, if you're looking for something with more edge, more bite, more edge of your seat, keep you awake at night, don't let your kids read it, especially if they still believe in Santa. And I will be reviewing more of her books in the future as I get them. I think I've read all but a few. I still have a few in my Kindle that I have to pull out and read. They're like standalones, not part of the series. But I'm going to be getting to those soon, so I'll be reviewing those too. The books that I do review are going to be only books that you can pick up free, or that I did pick up for free on Kindle. This one, like I said, I waited like a year for it to come out. It was only free for a couple of days, like Christmas Eve. It was only available for 1 or 2 days free. But at the same time, I think it's only like $1.99 or $2.99 regularly. So, you might want to pick it up. You might want to go back, if you haven't read her, go back and start with 1, 2, He's Coming for You. Where I was going with this is all of the books I'm going to review are going to be ones that I've gotten for free on Kindle. So it's not going to be the latest books. They're not going to be the hot books. They're going to be the free books. The books I can afford, the books that you can afford. And so I will link the book below, and don't forget to, I keep forgetting this now because I'm out of practice of doing this. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit that bell to get notifications for when I post new videos. I still don't have my schedule set yet. And hit the like button if you want to see more book reviews. If there's a book you want me to review, let me know. If I can do it, I will. And don't forget, if you're interested in what I went through with my cancer and my chemo, hop on over to Zebra in Paradise and check that channel out. And I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.